Hello and welcome. This is Ricky.schoonover of 8Z Real Estate. And today I am producing my podcast right here at 858 Santa Fe Drive. This is the gallery emerge we use for the artists that come here for a 3-month residency. So I'm very honored to be here in the gallery today with you. But who would have thought? I mean, come on, how many of you have been listening, who are listening right now, who have been with me since the beginning? It was back in April of 2020. That was my very first episode of the Denver Homes Market Report. And if you've been with me since the beginning, or perhaps you found my YouTube channel and you've sort of gone back through time with me, then you know this used to be a weekly show. However, once COVID restrictions started to ease and we started having the ability to go out and enjoy social gatherings, doing this show on a weekly basis, it was just too much. So I started missing dates, missing deadlines, and just not putting out as great of a show that I knew I could. So here we are. We are now embarking upon our 5th season. Yes, it is May 2nd, 2024, and this is the very first show of this 5th year. The Denver Homes Market Report is Denver's monthly real estate podcast. We closed the door last month with a pretty amazing show. I wanted the last show of our 4th season to be one I was very proud and offered you, my audience, a glimpse into where I've come from. From, when you hear my story and you hear about the very transient life I've had from a very young age, you start to realize I'm not just helping people buy or sell homes. For me, it's a much bigger picture and more nuanced. Let's start with when I joined the military at age 24. I found order. I found discipline. I saw that there were a set of rules for everything from waking up to getting dressed to being on time throughout the day to various duties. You could not just fold your shirts. There were very specific placements for those shirts, and they had to be folded in a very precise manner in order to fit them in those spaces. I mentioned this last month, but it's 100% true. Still to this day, I fold my t-shirts exactly as I was taught while I was in basic training for the Navy, where I was just starting out in my military career as a helicopter rescue swimmer. I was in the Navy for 5.5 years. I did 2 tours of what's commonly known as a Westpac, which is a tour of the countries, in and around the Western Pacific Rim. In fact, on my 2nd tour, being in that heat in the Middle East, it just wreaked havoc on my psoriasis. I've had psoriasis my whole life, but it sort of ebbs and flows. Sometimes it flares up, and usually I'll just treat it and it'll calm down. However, when in the Middle East and flying in the back of that helicopter for hours on end, landing, refuel, going back up, not to mention you're wearing a bunch of additional gear such as Kevlar vests and with these 1-inch thick metal plates that slipped in there. And then of course, it's like 44 to 46 degrees Celsius, which is somewhere right around 113 degrees. So let's just say, there's no treatment out there for my psoriasis that seemed to work. So on the tail end of my 2nd Westpac, after all the major missions had been completed and we were pulling out of the Middle East to kind of start our trip back home, then I got an early flight and went back to my base. It was around this time when I made the decision not to re-enlist after the 5.5 years. I went ahead and got out of the Navy. So needless to say, I loved my time in the military. I actually responded very well to the schedules, the deadlines, the requirements, the training and discipline. I was always very optimistic and sometimes even drove some of my shipmates crazy because they wanted to sit around and sulk and complain about how hot it was or how bad the food got to be. The food did get pretty bad. I mean, if you haven't hit a port in 4 to 6 weeks, without any fresh food being brought on board, I would always just make the best of my time there. So I get out of the Navy and I have a little bit of money saved up, and I reach out to my cousin who's a fairly new realtor. His name's Ronnie. Well, I call him Ronnie. He probably hates that. But Ron helped me buy my first condo. And that was a life-changing experience. I mean, I bought my condo, and for the first time in my life, not only did I now have my military experience to sort of help bring order and discipline, now I had a sense of pride, a sense of ownership, and a sense of stability. This place was mine. I mean, it wasn't much. But that 500 square feet of space in that condo, I could paint it, I could change out the floors, I could remodel the kitchen, I could pretty much do whatever I wanted to this place. See, my parents never owned a home in their entire lives. We just kind of bounced around from one rental space to another and never had that sense of ownership or sense of being. I was always the new kid. And as soon as I met a few kids in the neighborhood, boom, our family would up and move for one reason or another. And usually it was because my parents had racked up some debt and we just could no longer stay there. Sometimes moving in the middle of the night. It's happened. So when I tell you I do not help my clients buy or sell homes, I 100% mean that. I help my clients buy and sell real estate because real estate brought me stability. Yes, I was dead broke after buying my first condo. So much so that my boyfriend at the time, well, now he's my husband, but at that time, my boyfriend bought my couch because I had no money. After paying the down payment and the closing costs, and mind you, I used an FHA loan, so it was only 3.5% down and about 1.5% for closing costs. That did not matter. Eventually, I did regain some of my savings and I was fine. Then after me and my boyfriend decided, he was either spending all his time at my place or I was spending all my time at his place, we decided to move in together and we rented out my condo. And, since it was smaller. Then after about 13 years of owning that condo, I finally sold it for nearly double of what I originally bought it for. So I'm not helping you buy or sell your home. I'm helping you find your place in the world where you own it. It's yours, that peace of mind, that stability, which I never experienced. Not even throughout my entire life until I turned 31 years old. It was such a game changer in so many ways. And I want to help you and others find that same sense of being. This is why when my cousin Ronnie encouraged me to get into real estate, within 3 years of owning my own home, I did just that. I had been studying for the state exam, and within 3 years, I'd become a realtor. I could not wait to tell others how awesome this was to own your own home, then help them do the same. So this is why I love what I do so much and why I'm so passionate about it. So let's change gears here just slightly. I was invited to an amazing class today. My lender partner, Jaxanne Riggs of the Mortgage Network, she has a team within her company who are doing some really cool stuff with video content. And these guys are awesome. The Colorado Mortgage Team. And they showed us how to start from scratch and set up a YouTube channel. They also helped us shoot a quick video. I'll tell you, I host this show monthly and it's live in that I don't edit it. I don't edit the show at all. I make mistakes. I lose my place in my notes. I go off on tangents and I have to bring myself back to my thoughts here. However, there's no cameras. It's just me, a simple microphone plugged into my phone, and that's it. And so I step into this designated area for my video, and Chad asks me, so you have 30 to 45 second elevator speech. We just met, and I want you to tell me why that I should work with you. Go. I started out okay. Hello, this is Ricky.schoonover of 8Z Real Estate, and I tell you, you would love to work with me because... And then just crickets. I couldn't do it. I just do it. So I step out from the light. I don't really have a speech like that. I'm not sure I could sum up what I do in 30 to 45 minutes or why I do it or why you should work with me in 30 to 45 seconds. So I did finally get one done and it was fun. However, for all the reasons I just mentioned here, that's why I'm an amazing realtor. I know what it's like not to own a home, to bounce around from place to place. I know the world where you do not gain the financial stability like you do in real estate. The reason I'm an amazing realtor is because I know firsthand what it means to not have that sense of place. However, at that moment, I just could not articulate this on the camera. So I promised Chad I would follow up with him, and not only will we do some great videos, but I would also provide him a video review. So I will do those things for sure. However, I figured I'd give him and his team a shout out here as well. So if you're a realtor out there and you're struggling with video content and what to say and how to say it, reach out to the Colorado Mortgage Team under the umbrella of the Mortgage Network. They're an amazing group who can help you with your client's mortgage needs and help you with your video content. Oh, you know what? I almost forgot. Last episode, I was promising to bring you some huge news. I can't believe I almost forgot to bring this up. However, the news I have for you is pretty cool. I'm still working on this deal. I mean, it's a done deal, but we haven't got all the details done yet. It's not really public. And this isn't a real estate deal. This is a partnership with one of Colorado's largest employers. However, I'm going to tease you just a little bit more on this for another episode, so tune in next month. We're still working out the details, and I don't want to jinx our plans. However, I will soon be the preferred relocation realtor, helping their employees as they relocate into Colorado. I'll be offering to help with all aspects of relocating, from providing professional real estate services for buying a home, helping them find a rental if that's what's needed, mortgage specialists, moving companies, contractors, you name it. Whatever a new employee would need as they move into Colorado and find themselves needing assistance in finding their new home. So more to come on this. Hopefully by next month, I can go public with more information. So tune in next month, and I'm confident we'll have all the website links set up and my process will all be in place and implemented. And I'll provide the big reveal at that time once it's out there in the public. All right. Well, this has been fun. I kind of did piggyback from last month. However, I highly encourage you to subscribe to my podcasts. I have all my episodes on YouTube, so that's a great place to go, at Denver Homes Market. However, we are on pretty much every podcast platform. So wherever you catch your podcasts, hit that subscribe button. In fact, just today, courtesy of the Colorado Mortgage team, they helped me embed a watermark into my YouTube. So this is a subscribe button right there on my podcast videos. So even if you're not on my channel, you can subscribe right there by clicking that little subscribe button while you're listening to the Denver Homes Market Report right there on YouTube. Now, if you want to hear more of my personal journey and where I came from and why I do what I do, go to my page and listen to my last month's episode. It's a great episode. I'm very proud of it. With all that, we're going to close out today's show. You have been listening to the Denver Homes Market Report, Denver's monthly real estate podcast. This is your local realtor and host of this show. I hope you've enjoyed today's podcast. This is once again Ricky Schoonover, 8Z Real Estate. I hope you'll tune in next month. Remember, new episodes come out every Thursday each month. The first Thursday each month. There we go. One last thing here. Tomorrow is First Friday. Many of you know I volunteer here on the board of directors for ADSF, or the Arts District on Santa Fe. We have an amazing show set up for you at the gallery. It's right here at 858 Santa Fe Drive. We have 3 amazing artists who are here from our last residency. We also have 3 new artists which are just starting their new residency. They'll all be here creating and showing you off their talents. So First Friday tomorrow, make sure you make your way down to the Arts District. Parking, I have a lot of questions about parking. Park at the West High School. It's $5. Park over the West High School. Just walk right on down. Or take the train. RTD stops right there at 10th and Osage, right there by the Buckhorn Exchange. And you can just walk right up 10th, right into the Arts District. So have a great month, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Please hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch up with you next month.